Hey, what's up, guys? This is Booster, and welcome to my garage. Do a little spin around so you guys can have the little 360 view of my garage. Here's the bike. She's dirty. She's been out. She's been rode, and I didn't put her away clean because I figured I was going to take it right back out again anyway. And now it's supposed to actually start to get colder. I've been doing a little bit of riding because it's like 70 degrees in February. It feels like summer. Anyway, guys, the reason I'm making this video is because on Facebook recently, I posted that I was going to be charging up my shocks and building a system to charge up my shocks. Shocks, I say shocks plural. My shock. And the reason I'm doing this myself is because I had read online how much would it cost to take it to a shop. I didn't, I like to get the experience of actually maintaining all this stuff myself. And I changed out the oil in my rear shock, and I needed nitrogen for it. And none of the car places, the tire places in town, can charge it up as much or as high to the pressure that I need. They could only charge up to like 80 psi, and I need to go to about 150 psi. And reading online what a shop would actually charge was like 20 bucks, and I'm not going to pay that for a shot of air. So I figured in the future I want to be able to do this myself just for the convenience of it, and let's see, what price can I do it for, like, relatively inexpensive. So rather than use nitrogen, you guys might not know this about me. I've said it before, but some people are new. I'm a welding instructor. You can tell by Miller right here. I'm a welding instructor, so I have argon around. I do a lot of welding and fabricating and just building, different things. So I've got argon around for my TIG welder, and I thought that's what I would use. So down here, actually, I'm just using this cylinder for example. This is not my argon cylinder. This is actually a Trimix that I use for MIG welding stainless. So I'm just using this cylinder for an example right now. But I went online and I bought this nitrogen regulator right here. And nitrogen regulators and argon regulators are actually the same fitting. They're the same cylinder that's used. It's just a different gas that's put inside of the cylinder. The reason I needed a new regulator is because the regulator that I have for my TIG welder is actually, it's a flow meter is what it is. It takes like however many thousands of pounds you've got coming in this side, and on this side actually on the flow meter, it just tells you the flow rate, like how much gas is actually coming out, how many cubic feet per hour or minute, or however it's labeled on your flow meter. This regulator, on the other hand, it reads what it's got in the tank, and it reads what's coming out in PSI. So it'll charge this whole hose up to a certain PSI. So what I do is I set this on 150 PSI, and it charges up the hose, which this hose is a 3/8 inch hose. But if I was you guys and I was going to try to copy this design, I would go with a 1/4 inch hose rather than the 3/8 because it'll fit better actually on here. So I bought this for $41.99 off of Amazon. I'll put a link to that in the description if you guys want to buy that. Bought the hose from Tractor Supply. That was 10 bucks. And then I bought some new chucks and stuff for the end just because mine that I use are kind of leaky, and this is just more convenient. And that was like 5 bucks. So all in all, in this whole thing, I've got a total of like $60, a little less than $60. And if you guys have argon around, you won't have to pay for that either. And if you don't, well, that's just too bad. You should learn how to weld because it's a good skill and everyone should know how to do it. All right, so I use this system to charge up my shock. Got a little air valve or whatever here on the bottom of the shock, and took her out for a ride, and she feels great. She feels real good. I don't know, some people argue that you should use nitrogen because that's what they say you should use, but the reason that they use nitrogen, or companies use nitrogen, why am I saying air? Tire places use nitrogen, is because nitrogen's a really cheap gas. It's extremely abundant in the atmosphere, and it's not nearly the cost of argon. That's why argon isn't used. It's just not convenient, and it's not cost effective. But it will do the job. It'll work. Let's see. I might as well give you guys an update on the bike while you're watching. This off season, I took care of this guy right here. Can you see where there it is? The steering stabilizer. I changed out the oil in that. That's ready to go. Changed out all the fluids, the coolant, the oils. Changed out all of that. Did a new top end. She feels real good. Feels real strong. The head was all messed up. Had to put a new head on it. And what else? The power valve was stuck shut because whoever had worked on this before me didn't use any Loctite on some of the screws, the bolts and stuff in there, and it ended up falling all apart. And they were actually laying in the bottom of the power valve, and the power valve wasn't opening at all last season. So yeah, that's not good. I changed the fluid in the rear shock, as I had mentioned, and I'm probably going to be throwing some new tires on here before the season starts. We've got them hanging on the wall right there over the Z28. We've got new tires from Magnum over there that I'm probably going to be throwing on. So that's just a little bit of an update before the season starts. I'll probably have more before then, and maybe this will become a regular thing. Tech tips with Booster. And if I do any other projects, maybe you guys will be interested in that. So, anyway, hopefully you guys will be seeing more of me. Haven't done a video in a while because it's winter. It's the off season. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, guys, this is Booster, and I'll catch you guys later.